Hi there everybody, great to be with you all again. So, I'm a little bit disorganized this morning. So, let's see, next stream is going to be on Thursday, and that will be a sentence transformation. So, yes, let's see, Thursday 9th of May at 3:30 p.m, okay, British time. So, hi there to everyone. Hi to Renyard, hi to Julia, hi to Slipknot, hi to Vitali, hi to Oksana, and who else? Hi to Bogdan and Manisko and Slipknot and Human. Wow, we got lots of people. That's great. So, hi there to all of you. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't use want in the pub, definitely. Okay, this is this article about Antarctic tourism. And let's see, here we go. So, okay, it will probably reach Antarctica. This is actually about, I think, bird flu. Sometime this season, which would be awful, said Leane, noting that the virus is more likely to reach Antarctica via, per, as, under, for birds rather than tourists. So, hello Mohammed, lovely to see you as well. Welcome to everybody. Okay. It's because you speak. Yeah, it's because you speak French. They might ask if I was Spanish, but the second they hear me speak Spanish, you know I'm not. Hi, so let's see. We've got via from Oksana, from Mohammed. We've got via from Julia, via from Human and Bogdan, via or through. By means of. Yeah, by means of birds. Yes, you can, Renyard. Via for Ronan. Hi, Ronan. Via for Vitali and via for Manisko. Okay, yes. Okay, but by means of birds. Through. I think we could probably use the word through as well. So, it's going to reach via birds rather than tourists. Okay, let's continue. By birds. Yeah, by birds. Yes, I prefer via, but by birds. Yeah. I think I probably prefer through, but I think via is the best choice. So, despite these on the horizon, looming, in the offing, destined threats, Bergstrom says biosecurity is not the biggest hazard facing Antarctica's wilderness areas. Do you too? No, Oksana. But then, Patricia, you've also got a Portuguese surname. Okay. So, looming for Bogdan, looming for Oksana, looming threats for Mohammed, looming for Human, looming for Vitali, imminent. I like imminent. Loom over something. Yes. Yeah, something is looming. Something is looming over my future. Looming for Julia. Hello, Lionheart. Looming. These looming threats. A looming threat. Hi, Ludmilla. Lovely to have you. Okay, so something looms over something. Foreboding threats. I love foreboding. It's a good word. Inevitable. I'm not sure that it's definitely inevitable. Looming, emerging, encroaching. I quite like that. Advancing, good word. Inexorable. Inexorable's a good word. Looming for Patricia as well. Something that's looming is something that's threatening. In the offing. Okay, it means something that's going to happen in the future. You can see it happening. So despite these looming threats, normally something that is in the offing is something that's coming. But normally, despite these threats that are in the offing. Hello, Katia. Lovely to see you. Looming for Ludmilla as well. So if something is in the offing, it means it's likely to happen in the future. It's in the offing that you're going to get the next one right. Looming larger than life itself. Looming's a good word, something that's looming. Menacing, impending. Yeah. But then you'd have just had another language, Patricia. So, okay, in the offing is something that's coming on the horizon. Despite these threats that are on the horizon, despite these threats that are in the offing, but despite these looming threats, it's a question of word order. Okay. And tourists can soothe, weaken, mitigate, relax, dull biosecurity risks by taking new clothing to Antarctica, she said. But we know the carbon impact is a real issue. Okay, so tourists can reduce biosecurity risks, mollify biosecurity risks by taking new clothing. So to make less serious. Okay, this looks pretty good again. So we've got mitigate for Vitaly and Bogdan and Human and Julia and Katia and Mohammed and Slipknot. Tourists can alleviate. Yes, alleviate I think would work. Thank you, Deepak. That is so kind of you. Wow, thank you, Deepak. Okay, so looming and mitigate for Ronan. Wow, thank you, Deepak. Thank you. Okay, to moderate, to temper the risk. Thank you, Deepak. You're too kind. Okay, Renyard says mitigate the risk. Looming and mitigate for Ronan. Moderate and temper. Yes, both of those work, Vitali. Minimize risks. That's good. I like minimize. Mitigate for Oksana. Can placate risks. Normally you placate a person. You don't normally placate a risk. You placate a person who is upset. You could diminish, yes, mitigate. For Lionheart and for Patricia. Extenuate, good, that's good, Vitali. Lessen, assuage. You can assuage. I think assuage has the idea of satisfy completely. It's too strong, and I think here we're just talking about reduction of the risks. So, mitigate. And let's continue. Wow, thank you, Deepak. You really are generous. Thank you. The sheer, steep, perfect, stark distance most visitors travel to reach Antarctica makes carbon emissions a serious problem. Yes. Placate, pacify. Yes, placate is to pacify, and normally I would pacify a person. I think assuage. You assuage your thirst. You assuage your hunger. You maybe even could assuage your desire. To assuage a risk. I think you could assuage a risk if you completely get rid of it, Slipknot. Okay, so the sheer, steep, perfect, stark distance most visitors travel to reach Antarctica makes it a problem. Okay, so we've got sheer for Bogdan and Oksana and Vitali. Here. And sheer for Katya and Human and Renyard. And sheer for Lionheart and Julia and Ronan. And Susanta, lovely to see you. And sheer for Patricia. Okay, stark. Stark is normally talking about something that is very obvious. You have a stark choice. It's black and white. So a very stark landscape. Stark talking about austere. Assuage is with eliminate. Yes, Slipknot. The total distances, the sheer distances, the absolute distances. Steep is talking about a slope that goes up. A steep slope. The perfect distance. Well, it's not perfect, is it? A stark difference. Yes, that's good, Mohammed. Stark differences between two things. The stark difference between Antarctica and Egypt, for example. Okay, but sheer. The sheer. Whoops. The sheer distance. Okay, so continue. Yes, no. De Souza. That's another Portuguese name. So, or Brazilian as well, Patricia. Stark contrast, stark raving mad. The average per person carbon emissions for an Antarctic tourist are 3.76 tons, about the total lot, bulk, sum, all gross that an individual typically generates in an entire year. So it's saying that the amount of your carbon emissions going on a trip to Antarctica are about the same as your emissions for a whole year, which is a lot, yeah? Okay. I'm interested that actually we don't need a word at all about the total that an individual typically generates an entire year. Total in bulk. But in bulk is talking about buying. You buy something in bulk. You means you buy a lot of it and you have a cheap price. So you buy 1,000 litres of olive oil. That's buying in bulk. The total lot. No. The total lot. The total amount. The total sum. The total amount. Yes. The net total. That's good, Mohammed. Okay, zero-sum game. Zero-sum games is a game where if I lose 10, you win 10. That the amount of money within the game is always the same. It doesn't change. G. It's the J. It's the J, Patricia, as in Javier, for example. The total gross. It would be the gross total. But they're synonymous. The total gross, the gross total. Okay, so I'm a bit behind here. So we've got some for Vitali and Bogdan. Some for Mohammed and Katya. Some for Julia. Okay, the sum for Renyard as well. A lot is normally a portion. Yeah, I can understand why a couple of you have gone for lot. The total amount, not the total lot. The aggregate, the total aggregate, yes, Bogdan. The total amount, yes. The net total would work. That's Mohammed. Total sum. Okay, total gross, the gross total. But notice with gross and net, you've got this idea that you're taking something away. The gross before discount, the net price that you pay, net and gross, it doesn't work. Gross. The gross total, the total gross. Well, I think I would probably say the gross total, but no, because it has to a whole lot. Yes, Susanna, but not a gross lot. Okay, I understand exactly what you mean, Patricia. When I get really angry, I can't speak Spanish either. Okay. Chess is a zero-sum game. The total sum doesn't make sense. The sum total. Okay, is the total amount, Human. The total sum, the total of everything added together. Thank you, Mohammed. The total set. No. Okay, derogatory, disparaging, belittle. The sum total would sound better. Is the sum total sounds better to me. Cogito ergo sum, I think therefore I am. Okay, so it's the total sum. Because the sum is everything added together. What is the sum of 2 and 4? The sum of 2 and 4 is 6. Yes, sum is talking about everything added together. I think that's your problem, Human. Sum is everything added together. So all of the little bits put together, all of the little bits added together. And that's, I think, the idea of sum. So the total sum. I think, yes, you are repeating. So sum. Total sum, Ronan. And here we come. Studies have shown that on the Antarctic Peninsula, home to popular landing sites such as Cuerville Island and Neko Harbour, the snow has a higher concentration of black carbon from ship exhaust, which pulls up, soaks up, draws up, brings up more heat and speeds up snowmelt. Okay, so I quite like this one. I think they're all phrasal verb. Pulls. So Oksana goes for pulls up. Bogdan goes for pulls up. Vitali goes for soaks up. Julia goes for soaks up. The snow soaks up, says Oksana. Brings up. Brings for Patrick. Hi, Patrick Bateman. Lovely to have you. Okay, absorbs. Soaks up for Katya. Pulls up for Mohammed. Pulls up for Manisco. Draws up or pulls up for Renyard. Good, this is a problem one. Draws up or soaks up for Patricia. So, I was lying on the beach up the sun. Oksana's going to stick to pools. I was lying on the beach. It's going to be an ing. Pulling up the sun, soaking up the sun, drawing up the sun, bringing up the sun. Susanna goes for soaks up. Okay, in this case, we are talking about absorb, soaking up the sun. That's very good, Oksana. Sunbathing. Okay, so soak up, which soaks up. Basking in the sun. Yes, Renyard. Okay. Yes, you're soaking it up. Let's see, to pull up. No. To draw up. Let's see, osmotic, something that is drawing water up from the from the ground. Brings up. Brings in. It brings in more heat. It soaks up. To soak up, absorb. Okay, so the bread soaks up the sauce. The rice soaks up the liquid. Okay, but soak on its own, Renyard, is to leave something in water for a long time. Whereas to soak up is to absorb. I really like Julia's example of I soak up all, everything that comes up in class. Okay, to soak up everything that comes up in class. No, I don't like sitting in the sun either, P. So... Which... Okay, which is talking about black snow or snow with carbon. Yeah? Which is talking about the snow with black snow. Which? Yeah? We have snow and black snow. And this is black snow, which absorbs. Okay. So. Yes, absolutely, Mohammed. Monton de lait. Ah, your milk white skin. So, emissions for Vitali and Oksana. Emissions for Bogdan. Discharges for Mohammed. Emissions for Renyard. Emissions for Katya. Patrick goes for emissions. Julia for emissions. Due largely to exhaust. I would probably say exhaust gases. Yeah. Emissions. So, one study calculated that each tourist between 2016 and 2020 was effectively melting around 83 tons of snow, due largely to emissions from cruise ships. It's got to be emissions. Discharges. Discharge. Let's see. Discharge, I get the feeling, is something like a liquid waste. I would say, well, but you could be discharges into an atmosphere. Its emissions is better. Releases, no. Outflows, no. Emissions. Yeah? especially as we're talking about carbon and the environment. Okay. Emissions for Patricia as well. The Antarctic is vulnerable, not just because of the fragility of its environment. CO2 emissions, that's the point, yes, Mohammed. The Antarctic is vulnerable not just because of the fragility of its environment, but due to the lack of a single governing mass team core crew body. Okay, this one's easy. Okay, so we've got body from Oksana and Human and okay, so body from Oksana and Human and Bogdan and Julia. Discharging, yes, but oil. Discharge is more normally a liquid. Smash the like, as Julia says. Body from Rupa. Hi Rupa. Body from Renyard. Body from Vitali. Absolutely. Yeah, well, men have discharges as well, Patricia. So, body for Mohammed. A crew. A crew are all the people who work in a place. But body for Lionheart, it's a noun, governing body. Yes, a noun collocation is a very common collocation, Patrick. The governing body, the people in charge, governing body for Slipknot and Ronan and Patricia. Okay, a single governing body. Governing body is like a government. Yeah? Okay, so the I don't know, who is the governing body in charge of football? Or the governing body in charge of athletics? Okay, the body politic, I love it. Okay, so let's try the next one. Cut. Body for Katia as well. The Antarctic Treaty, established in 1961 to provide governance for the continent, handles, operates, manages, conducts on a consultative basis, which means all 56 parties have to agree before a change can be implemented. That's it, body. It's a compound noun, but well, I would say it's a noun collocation. Yeah. So body politic, the body for Susanta. So operates for. For Oksana, operates for. Okay, FIFA is the body for football. Mohammed. Okay, operates. Thank you, Deepak. By the way, operates for Lionheart. Operates for Vitali and Bogdan. To operate for Human. Okay, mitigate in the yes, Rupa. Yes. Take care of yourself as well, Mohammed. Operates for Patricia and Julia. Conducts. So, conduct business. Conduct is going to need a noun that goes with it. It conducts business on a consultative basis. Conduct needs something. Operates. Intransitive. Operates for Ludmilla. Operates for Rupa. Operates for Renyard. Conducts business, handles things, manages manages the affairs, conducts affairs, but operates intransitive. It operates on a consultative basis. It works on a consultative basis. Okay, let's have one more of these then. Okay, let's make so. Whoops. Operates for San Lim. So the last major decision on tourism was a measure assessment evaluation action passed in 2009 that prohibits cruise ships carrying more than 500 passengers from making landings, explained Christian. Yeah, a lot. Legal lingo. Okay, so we've got measure for Bogdan. Hi Jake, a measure for Jake. An action. Normally action, Oksana, talks about physically doing something. And this is a law. A law is more normally a measure. Was an evaluation. An evaluation is what the teacher gives. No, Christian is a name. It's the name of someone, Patrick. Was a bill. A bill, yes. Unfortunately, it's not a government, so bill probably not. A measure for Renyard, yes. A measure for Julia. A measure for Manisco. An evaluation. No, your teacher gives you an evaluation. Yeah, a measure. Because this is like a law, is like a bill. So a measure passed in this year. Okay, let's do one more, and then this one will be definitely the last. A measure for Lionheart as well, that's great. And let's try this last one here. An enactment, I like the enactment. An act, an enactment. That regulation has still not been officially implemented, as not every signatory country has ratified, authenticated, underwritten, asserted it domestically. A measure for Rupa and a measure for Ronan. I know what you're thinking about, but normally you're talking about a memoranda or the what's the word? The minutes of the meeting. I'd just be happy with a chauffeur P. Is on a smaller scale. Yes, it could be. So we've got ratified for Vitali, ratified for Bogdan, ratified for Rupa and Oksana, ratified for Renyard and Jake, ratified for Julia and Human, ratified for Lionheart as well. To ratify is to agree. But let's see, somebody has gone to the meeting, Human, and they've said, yes, we agree to this, but my boss needs to ratify it. My boss needs to say yes. Hello, Jocko. Great to have you. Okay, so to ratify, to officially agree something. So I can take a decision, but I need the person in charge, the person with the power, to ratify, to agree this decision. To approve, yes. It's not been approved domestically. Okay. To authenticate is to prove that something is genuine. To underwrite means to ensure, and to assert. Has ratified it domestically. Manu, buenos dias or buenos tardes. Recognize, yes, Bogdan, definitely. Early morning from Tenerife. So, unfortunately, that's going to be the last one for today. Recognised it. Yes, Bogdan, definitely. Made valid or endorse. So, let me put this here. And so, next stream will be on Thursday, 9th of May at 3:30 p.m. UK time. So it's been great to see you all. Thank you all for coming. You've ratified your mortgage this morning. That means you've signed it. So, many thanks to all of you. Firstly, thanks to Deepak for his generosity again. Thank you for coming, Vitaly. It's been great having you. Okay, I will see you on Thursday. Come on Thursday, Patrick. It's been great. I will see you on Thursday, Oksana. So let's see. Thank you, Manisco. So thank you to Ali. Thank you to Bogdan and Lionheart. Thank you to Human and Jake. Thank you to Joko. Thank you to Julia and Ludmilla and Manisco. Thank you to Manu and Oksana and Patricia and Patrick. Thank you to Renyard and Ronan and Rupa and San. And thank you to Vitaly as well. It's wonderful to have you all. So take care, and I hope to see you all on Thursday. So take care.